Tesla sold 75% of their Bitcoin holdings, and it doesn't really matter. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thanks for cruising by. That's true. Tesla sold some Bitcoin. They sold some Bitcoin, and this is an hourly chart on Bitcoin. This says a lot. It's partly why I wanted to do this very brief video. Tesla has dumped 75% of its Bitcoin holdings a year after touting long-term potential early last year. If you're unaware, if you're watching this video, you're probably not unaware, but Tesla invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Banking on what the electric car maker called the digital currency's long-term potential, the company has already sold 3/4 of its holdings. It's crazy to see that. As of the end of Q2, we have converted approximately 75% of our Bitcoin purchases into fiat currency. So before we kind of just, there's a couple points I want to make about that. I think this is an exceptional chart to look at with this news happening. I mean, this happened a few hours ago as I'm doing this video. I was out when it happened, but look at Bitcoin. We've seen this Elon effect, right? Elon does something, Tesla does something in regards to Bitcoin, good or bad, and it moves markets, good or bad. This really hasn't done anything to Bitcoin markets. And I'll say this, we are in a bear market. We are in a bear market, and sprinkled throughout the bear markets, we always have these narratives, right, that kind of infuse themselves and engrave themselves in the history of bear markets. So basically, we'll look back on this bear market and we'll say, hey, remember this, remember that? I mean, we're talking, there's a lot going on right now. Bankruptcies, we saw what happened with Terra Luna, just all of this stuff happening. And now we have this sprinkled in as well into this bear market, the story of this bear market formation. And if this is your first bear market, it's really interesting to experience this. And I think what's also being infused into this bear market is a dash of wisdom. Wisdom, because it's time for crypto markets and the people in it, especially the retail in it, to stop looking at these huge influential figures. Stop looking at them to move markets. Stop looking at them to influence markets. And I think this is going to be a big learning, a big lesson being learned going into or exiting this bear market and going into the next bull market. So it's pretty crazy to look at, though, isn't it? Tesla. The reason we sold a bunch of our Bitcoin holdings was that we were uncertain as to when the COVID lockdowns in China would alleviate. So it was important for us to maximize our cash position. Musk said in an earnings call on Wednesday, this should be not taken as some verdict on Bitcoin, he said, adding that Tesla is open to increasing its crypto holdings in the future. Can I make a request to all of crypto land? Can we not take that comment that, you know, they're open to increasing their crypto holdings in the future? Can we not latch on to that? Can we not have some type of hope into that comment? It doesn't matter. It really does not matter, everybody. And I think that's the lesson being learned. And really, again, not trying to just keep repeating myself here, but this hourly chart is just a perfect reflection of this. And this is really important for the growth and maturity of the crypto space. However, when asked about Bitcoin's potential as an inflationary hedge on the earnings call, Musk said that Tesla's main goal is to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy and called Bitcoin a sideshow to a sideshow. In May of last year, Musk said Tesla would stop accepting Bitcoin for car purchases because of the environmental impact of mining, but he added that the company will not be selling any Bitcoin. And you can see the tweet right there. Tesla has diamond hands, baby. Diamond hands. May 19th, 2021. And here we are, July 2022. And the diamond hands, I guess, are no longer. Tesla dumped, revealing that it dumped 75% of its Bitcoin holdings. Now, pivoting over here, though, this is a big deal, again, for this macro story being told on the Bitcoin charts. What's happening here, and this is what's cool, it's significant, I think. It's really why I wanted to do the video. It's significant because what's happening here on the hourly, in this moment, and we're in a bear market, right? So a lot of people have left the space. A lot of the hype has left the space, even though these headlines in regards to what happened with Tesla, you know, they're running wild right now. A lot of just the hype of it all has left the space. So the influence of these headlines is kind of diminishing, right? We're in a Bitcoin bear market bottoming out formation. That's tough to say. But the hourly chart, not much happening with this big news, is significant as we even start zooming out on the daily and then the weekly. I think I have a weekly. Here's a weekly chart, right? So it's significant on this long-term growth of Bitcoin. This is a piece of the story. It's markets maturing, it's markets learning, it's retail learning, not to put so much stock into the big players out there in the world, the powerful players out there in the world. At the end of the day, everyone, they really don't care about you. They don't care about retail, everyone. And, you know, it's a powerful lesson to be learned. It's a powerful lesson to be reminded of in the bottom of this bear market formation. Now, if we're looking at this weekly chart, though, I want to say this. We realize that the macro bottoming out formation is happening. We're tracking it. I did a video earlier about it. But going over here to the daily, putting aside the Tesla stuff, putting aside the Tesla news, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. We have this 50-day moving average. It's a very big area for Bitcoin. It broke above, but the key area is, and this is where there's kind of this throwback potential, Bitcoin falling down for some type of consolidation, at least a cooling off of sorts, even if the rally is going to continue down here to the 20-day moving average, currently around 21,000. I'd be prepared for that. And if it happened, I don't think it has anything to do with Tesla. If it happened, I think this is a technical analysis move that we see all of the time, or at least a lot on these charts, on these crypto charts, which is the setup for the 20-day moving average to finally make a move through the 50-day, right? That setup oftentimes comes with a dip testing that 20-day moving average. So it's just something I'm watching, waiting for potentially to happen. But obviously, very first thing we're looking for is support here at this blue line. 50-day moving average, currently $22,800 or so, right below where Bitcoin is. So we have a new daily green candle in effect right now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, I guess, with this daily candle. We can continue to monitor if the Tesla news has anything to do with the movement of this daily candle. But so far, everybody, it really doesn't seem like anybody cares. And I tweeted this, can we move on from Tesla now? And I want to say real quick, before I get off of this video, when we're in a bull market and you have Elon Musk tweeting and the headlines going crazy about it and cryptos are being influenced and moved seemingly by his tweets and by what he's doing, it's just being involved in social media. It's kind of entertaining, right? We all get wrapped up in that a little bit. I did, right? I'm watching it. We're talking about it. We're watching it. We're in it, especially when Bitcoin's cruising to the upside and all this stuff is happening. But I think it's time for the space as a whole to mature. I really do. And it's time to move on from these things, because this next bull cycle, it's going to have a different feel to it. I really think so. Even this current bear cycle has a different feel to it than the last bear cycle. It does. It has a more mature feel. Sentiment still kind of the negativity of the sentiment that we're seeing online and on social media, YouTube and Twitter and stuff, that's similar, right? But with the maturity of Bitcoin and the technology itself and crypto itself and the adoption that's happening and the institutional interest that's coming in, there's a different vibe to it all. So I think the space is maturing, and all of this is good. I'm doing a video about Tesla, but I think it's to really make a larger point, and that is that it really does not matter. Everybody, hit that subscribe, hit that like. I appreciate you. Let's see what Bitcoin does tonight above that moving average on the 50-day moving average. Hit the subscribe once again and have an awesome night. God bless.